flow me encanta. Dale descarada.
Hey, what's up, guys? Benji and Anthony here, and welcome to the bar for our featured review of
Fences. Came out last year. It's actually nominated for Movie of the Year, right? In this Academy Awards. It's directed by Denzel Washington.
So we're still keeping up with Academy Award winning. So far, it's got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's up there with other movies that we've seen so far. Moonlight, Arrival, all those other movies that are kind of La La Land. They're in that. So you know what, guys? Let's get into it. So Fences is about a working,
family man,
Troy, played by Denzel Washington, and it's actually about his life in the 1950s and his family, and it's kind of like him coming to terms with his life, the events of his life. And the reason I did this is because I don't believe that in this film. This actually was based off of a play, I believe.
Yeah, it's written by August Wilson. He sadly died and didn't get to see the production, but we have the film now.
Yeah, and I noticed that it was. I don't know if you noticed it, but the movie was pretty much shot in his house.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole film, it wasn't really shot anywhere else. Just like a play, it's pretty much based off of one area. The good thing about this movie was the acting. I think Denzel is amazing. I personally feel like he's going to win Actor of the Year. I think he, hands down, played the most amazing main character. He made me hate him, and I see his variety of how he acts in movies.
His range, right?
Yeah, exactly. And another person that I'm kind of mad that she did not get, an actress, like a lead actress.
That was very surprising when the nominations came out.
Yeah, it was Rose by Viola Davis. Oh my God. Her variety is insane to me. You see her in Suicide Squad, and you see her how she's hated, and you just despise her, and you see her in this, and then you love her and care for her as a real person.
Nurture her,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Like, it's something to where she has such great variety, and the scenes where she's passionate, you feel it. You feel like you're there, and like I can't explain the amazingness, and I do recommend watching this film because of that, because of the acting alone.
And the ensemble cast too.
Yes, exactly.
We have the friend Jim Bono, played by Stephen Henderson, and I love the way they just the dialogue between the characters of Troy and Rose. It's seamless. But then when you get to see him with his friend Jim, which as you know, we talk differently with our friends than with our loved ones. They were just shooting the shit. Excuse my French, as trash men, right? And it was just like.
It was seamless.
I didn't know this was a play, but when I started, as the movie progressed, I'm like, this is a play. And I have to look the fact up later, and it turns out that it is a play because of the way that it was just the way the dialogue was set. And I was like, wow, you know what? This movie is actually worthy of an Oscar nomination for Movie of the Year because of not only the acting, but the writing and just even the set design, even the clothes.
Yeah, you felt like you were in the 1950s.
Yeah, you felt like you were there.
You really did feel that. Another thing about this film that I really loved was the way it's shot. The way it's shot specifically. It's not panoramic shots because, again, we're trying to put it in a play setting. So you're only seeing a certain amount of area. But when they walk away from each other, you hear them talking in whispers, but you can still hear them. And then it'll zoom in. Stuff like that, zooming into faces.
And that just was his great director.
Exactly. You just see so much in such a little concept. Because most of the film is placed in the backyard. Yeah. So you don't really see much besides that. Maybe the factory here and there. Besides that, it's only played here. And the cast, it's very small as well. It's only five characters overall. Mm-hmm. One thing I do have to say though, it is long. It is a 2.5 to 15-minute movie. Mm-hmm. And I felt it. That's one of the issues I had with the movie. I felt that time. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of dialogue,
which is funny because we just did Moonlight and there was such sparse dialogue in that one, right?
And sometimes dialogue could be great, but sometimes it doesn't work as good as it would in a film. I think it works great in a play, but in a film, it's too much. I think it's too much at certain points. You want a little bit more, drama, action behind it. And I don't mean like action with like shooting or anything, but a different type of action in the background. You don't really get that. But, this movie was saved because of the cast. This movie was saved because of the way they portrayed these characters. The story behind it was very passionate. It's very hurtful in many ways in so many events. And again, we're not going to spoil anything in this movie because we never want to spoil any movie that we believe you need to go watch. Right. You know?
And this is one of those movies. You need to go see this film. What did you think of the dynamics of the son, Corey, played by Jovan Adepo, and the father? Like we haven't really seen that before in a movie, or at least I haven't seen it.
I've seen it before. I've seen it in different aspects of like that bad father, good father thing, and it's more of an action films kind of stuff, and they grow up and to be heroes. But no, like I really felt the passion. But one thing I can say is, it just jumps from one scene to another. And the sad part about that in specific movies
you want
is
more?
You want more. You want to hear more. You want to feel more. The reason I gave quotations under he comes to terms in his events, I don't feel that. I don't feel like he ever came to terms.
So he was the man that he was from beginning to end.
And the thing is, the way the movie ends doesn't, in my opinion, didn't picture that. The way it's supposed to end was a complete different twist, and I didn't like that about the film. I hate that one thing I passionately hate about films sometimes is that they always skip a big chunk of what you want to do.
The meat, right? You want to see more.
And I feel like a lot of movies in this Academy Award are doing that. And it's like, why? And maybe it's a time thing, but...
or else it'd be like 3-4 hour films, and nobody has time for that, like, no pun intended. But one of the things that, even though it was sparsely done, I really like the intensity between Corey and Troy. I'm now older enough to have children of my own, and I could see his angle as a father, because you don't want the hard knock life that you had for your children, but your children also have to grow.
Yeah, they have to do their own
and this done, even though it wasn't done a lot, like we wanted to see more, but it was still done very well. I believe.
Yeah, the chemistry between characters was amazing. Character between actors was amazing. I don't feel like anybody really, I don't know how actors do it, because this movie is pretty rough. It's pretty rough in certain sections. It's pretty rough in certain things, and the way Troy presents himself is very like you hate him and you hate
because he
guts.
does that whole like don't do how does that saying go? Don't do what I say, do what I tell you to do, or something like that.
It's kind of like he's in charge and he's in charge,
and you're gonna do it the way
anything he says is the right thing. And I know people like that, and I know how that is, and that could be really like
frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. It's very
like,
frustrating. And this movie had me feeling so many emotions, and I think that's why it's one of the more Academy Award winnings. Nominees. And it's because of that, because it makes you feel, it puts reality in your hands. Yeah. But like we said, it's something to where a play doesn't always transition perfectly into a film. And I think this is one of the examples where I think it kind of lacked that. But overall, I personally agree, like, you need to go watch it. This is a movie you do need to watch. For sure. Sadly, it is a little hard to watch it in theaters right now. It is limited in certain theaters, but I promise you, after next Sunday, they'll probably have it again, or it's gonna come out pretty soon, probably in Blu-ray DVD. And I'd say pick it up. I do recommend to pick up this movie. So this movie actually, overall, it was a great cast. I think the cast was simply amazing. I think they did such a beautiful job. The filming of itself, the actual directing of it felt great as well. But again, it did feel lack in the sense of the way the story was designed as a play. It did feel like it was lacking certain spots in certain areas to fill in those gaps of what happened kind of thing. Okay. And because of that, I'm personally going to give it a 7. It is a little bit lower on the side, but I still recommend it. It is in no way, shape, or form this movie a bad movie. It's just it didn't give the potential that it should have.
For me, I'm going to give it a grade higher than that. I'm going to give it an 8, only because I felt that I was transformed. I was put into this family and in this time period, and I really loved it. Viola Davis, I know we haven't talked much about her, but she did an amazing job in this film as well.
All right, guys, in the comments down below, let us know if you've seen Fences. Did you guys like it? What did you guys think about the movie? Also, since we are going with the Academy Award-winning movies, which one do you guys think is going to win? We have Arrival, we have La La Land, we have Fences, we have
Manchester by the Sea.
We have so many. Let us know in the comments what you guys think.
Join us on Thursday. We're going to be doing Moneyball, and we're going to be continuing the Oscar-nominated film series for this month.
Again, thank you, Jose, for that, for recommending it in the comments. Also, guys, down below, there's links to our Instagram, our Twitter, our
Tumblr.
Facebook, and Tumblr, and you guys can catch us there. We actually do a lot of social media and tell you guys what's going on. If you guys like the video, hit that like button and give us a thumbs up on the video. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome reviews. Have a good one.